Hello there, you're welcome to the news on NT International, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Obiageli Ugoke. We'll begin with the headlines. Independent National Electoral Commission putting finishing touches to its preparation for the conduct of Kogi and Bayelsa state elections. Nigerian Army reaffirms its commitment to end all forms of insecurity in the country. And Central Bank of Nigeria identifies monetary stability in real sector as indices to measure economic growth. Many thanks for joining us. INEC and security agencies are currently in Abuja reviewing the arrangements ahead of Kogi and Bayelsa governorship elections. Mia Ogide reports.
Here is the arrival of the much-awaited month of November, hosting the Kogi and Bayelsa governorship elections. And the month is being ushered in under tight security, as it were. Yes, a security meeting between INEC and security agencies. Though it is a closed-door meeting, but the little journalists were allowed to cover is worth telling.
We are also concerned that thugs have been mobilized from within and outside the states with the aim of either influencing the elections or disrupting the process on behalf of partisan sponsors.
No doubt will be allowed to be brought from any other adjoining state to these states to disrupt elections. All those areas will be mined.
Police deployment has been reviewed upwards from 25,000 35,200 in Kogi State, while Bayelsa is now 31,041 personnel, as against 30,000 earlier announced.
And the personnel who are deploying, every polling unit, the personnel we send will be attached by names and then telephone numbers.
Those wearing the crowns in the two states, resident electoral commissioners and commissioners of police, were in attendance. Apart from having elections on the same day, Kogi and Bayelsa states also shared something in common in 2015. That is, both elections were inconclusive at first ballot. Will this time be different? You will get answer on November 16th, all things being equal. Mia Ogidi, NTA News.
And on security, the Nigerian Army says it remains determined to end cases of kidnapping, armed banditry, cattle rustling, and other acts of criminality in the country. General Officer Commanding 1 Division, Nigerian Army, Kaduna, Major General Farouk Yahaya stated this when he officially flagged off exercise IM Akpatuma 2 in Mina, Niger State. Fatima Usman reports.
IM Akpatuma is a military operation carried out annually by the Nigerian military to address cases of kidnapping, armed banditry, and other criminal acts in the northern region of the country. The Nigerian Army's determination to rid the country of criminal elements that have been threatening the peace of the country gave rise to the continued operations carried out in different regions. Flagging off the exercise in Mina, General Officer Commanding 1 Division, Nigerian Army, Kaduna, Major General Farouk Yahaya says the exercise, which is a joint multi-agency exercise, will be conducted in line with the new super camp concept recently adopted by the Nigerian Army, all targeted at containing perennial insecurity caused by fleeing bandits and other criminals.
This exercise is an exercise, but on the ground is an operation that works on actionable information and intelligence to treat and neutralize all security threats.
In addition to checking activities of criminals, General Farouk Yahaya says the exercise also seeks to focus on building civil-military cooperation in order to obtain vital information from host communities, which goes a long way in enhancing operations. Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, represented at the event by the Secretary to the State Government, Ahmad Ibrahim Matani, appreciated the Nigerian Army and other security agencies for their efforts at securing the state, adding that the state government has been interfacing with service chiefs to provide assistance wherever needed. The exercise I Am Akpatuma 2 is being conducted in many formations across the northwest and north-central geopolitical zones of the country. In Mina, I am Fatima Usman, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Defense Headquarters is collaborating with the Nigerian Film Corporation to change negative narratives on the armed forces in some Nigerian films. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details on what the partnership entails.
Two films with similar content but different themes. The first promotes the might and capacity of the nation's security agency, while the second, a Nollywood production, features negative conduct of the personnel of a Nigerian security agency. This civil-military relation workshop, organized by the Defense Headquarters, intends to urgently ensure Nigerian movies project concepts that enhance national interests.
We are going to project them through the lenses of all of you gathered here who are notable filmmakers. That is why you are rated almost #1 in the whole world.
Sani Muazu Danja and Desmond Ake are film producers and describe the proposed collaboration as the catalyst that can change the negative perception of the Nigerian armed forces.
Lots of things were being done wrongly in the past because there was no synergy between filmmaking as a process and the military as an institution.
Why do we see America as #1? Not because there are no ills in the military or in the forces of America, but because that's what they've portrayed. So if we're able to portray this in the right light for the military, we are going to be respected, not just the military, but even as a citizen when you travel.
With the collaboration between Nigerian Film Corporation and the military, we're going to do a lot of things because there's going to be a direct kind of communication whereby right from even wearing the uniform, you get it right.
The partnership involves provision of required platforms, uniforms and training where necessary to project the true picture of the nation's armed forces in its quest to secure Nigeria and Nigerians. From the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Still on security, after about 2.5 years of grooming personnel of the Nigerian Correctional Service in de-radicalization strategies, the European Union is pulling out. This is to pave way for the service to integrate the operations with the dictates of the new Correctional Service Act 2019. Victor Azu tells us more.
A warm welcome for this European Union team. For 30 months, they have supported the Nigerian Correctional Service and indeed Nigeria in the de-radicalization of violent extremist offenders following the long struggle with Boko Haram and Islamic State for West Africa Province, ISWAP. Now it is time for them to say goodbye, but not without creating the pathway for sustainability.
Nigeria's de-radicalization program was established to change the behavioral attitudes and beliefs of those associated with Boko Haram. The new curriculum not only captures and integrates issues related to de-radicalization, but has a foundation in human rights standards.
The next phase is to have a training manual. We are going to commence producing a training manual chapter by chapter on the act itself.
With the task of launching the training curriculum and teaching template donated by the group, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, expressed his government's expectations going forward.
It is government expectation that the use of this revised curriculum will not only facilitate the implementation of the Nigerian Correctional Service Act 2019, but also contribute to the realization of the current government's commitment to ensuring security, safety, and economic enhancement of Nigerians.
A fitting way to round it all off is this pat on the back for the last Comptroller General of Prisons and first Comptroller General of Corrections. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
And from security, we turn to culture and tourism. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has assured that the federal government is working on all fronts to position the tourism and culture sector strategically to play its role as a revenue-generating industry. The minister stated this during an interactive session with culture and tourism correspondents in Abuja. Anthony Forsin reports.
The Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, chronicled the sector's performance under his supervision in the last dispensation. He said, contrary to insinuations that the information sector was given more attention than culture and tourism, a lot was achieved in the culture and tourism sector in the last administration.
During my first term or two, we succeeded in getting pioneer status to be granted to the creative industry by the federal government to boost investment in the sector. It was one of the recommendations from the Creative Industry Financing Conference. And we actually want to call on our stakeholders and practitioners to take advantage of these two very important initiatives from the government.
In this second term in office, Lai Mohammed assured that a robust calendar of events is underway and that culture and tourism reporters will be carried along fully.
So we actually really need to work with you, even as resource person, and that's, I think, that way we'll be able to achieve our goal.
Leader of the group, Bridget Onoche, said their visit to the minister is to have a first-hand knowledge of the minister's plans and focus for the sector. In Abuja, Anthony Forsen, NTA News.
Away from that, cases of human activities contaminating water bodies in Nigeria are fast becoming national emergencies requiring definite actions. Onengia Fineface reports on the latest efforts underway to control water pollution and mitigate its impact on the environment.
Agriculture is confirmed to be a crucial part of Nigeria's economic future. At the same time, agricultural runoffs like crop nutrients, fertilizer, pesticides, and herbicides seep into the soil as groundwater pollutants. In the same vein, manufacturing and industrial effluent discharge also pollute water bodies, not to mention hydrocarbon pollution that is ravaging several parts of the Niger Delta region. National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRA's 13th National Stakeholders Forum is focused on providing innovative solutions to water pollution in Nigeria.
You are invited to join hands with NESRA in this all-important task of ensuring a cleaner and healthier environment for all Nigerians and to inspire personal and collective responsibility in building an environmentally conscious society for the achievement of sustainable development.
It is therefore necessary for us to be on deck and team up with NESRA to protect our waters from pollution. This is important on our march towards sustainable production and consumption.
This stakeholders forum is aimed at exploiting further avenues to bring in solutions to the intractable problems of water pollution in the land.
The forum is expected to identify strategies for actualizing water hygiene and reduction of waterborne epidemics in Nigeria. In Abuja, Onengia Fineface, NTA News.
From environmental issues, we turn to economic matters. Monetary stability and real sector growth are said to be indices pointing towards economic growth, and Nigeria is believed to have achieved this. The Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele said this while presenting a paper on the role of monetary policy towards economic growth in Nigeria. And Chimobi Watanaji now reports.
Leveraging on unconventional monetary policy and creating a diversified wealth base for the country will no doubt create more jobs and fortify the economy against volatility. Now, this is why the CBN in recent times has engaged a robust approach towards restoring business activities in the real sector by championing the closure of the nation's land borders and restriction of foreign exchange for the importation of products that can be produced in the country.
Regardless of the views of our critics, our unconventional measures were well thought through and have been yielding significant gains for the Nigerian economy. Noticeable successful outcomes, we can mention a few of them. For instance, after 5 consecutive quarters of negative growth, beginning in the first quarter of 2016, a coordinated approach by the fiscal and monetary authorities supported a rebound in the nation's economy during the second quarter of 2017.
Targeted intervention schemes, including the Anchor Borrowers Program, launched by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2016, ensured the provision of finance and incentives to improve participation in agriculture by more Nigerians. Other issues, including the provision of a ready market for the offtake of agri-produce, are other areas government is paying due attention to, so as to reduce wastages occasioned by lack of market in Auchi, Edo State. I'm Chimobi Walter Naji, NTA News.
Many thanks, Chimobi. This is the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja. Stay tuned for more news after this message.
The NYSC 2019 Batch C Stream 1 orientation course will commence on Tuesday, 5th of November 2019 in all NYSC orientation camps. Cut-off date for registration, 12 midnight, Wednesday, 6th of November 2019. Swearing-in ceremony, Thursday, 7th of November. Closing ceremony, Monday, 25th of November. Prospective corps members advised to check the following newspapers for details. Leadership and Blueprint newspapers, Friday, 1st of November. Vanguard and Punch newspapers, Monday, 4th of November 2019. Guardian and Daily Trust newspapers, Tuesday, 5th of November. Prospective corps members advised to report to the orientation camp indicated on their call-up letters. Signed, Management.
Your information dey important, just like your identity. Now the only way we fit take hala you o. Make you go browse easy.gotvafrica.com. Sign in with your IUC number and mobile number and scroll down to personal details and address. Then check well to see say everything bam. You fit change the one wey not correct. To finish everything, just click the save button and it don't finish.
Thank you.
I make sure say my phone number dey correct. That's now why GoTV fit call me make I come collect my own awoof.
Angel, time for my phone in that way because now my correct phone number dey for book.
GoTV, live it, love it.
Now look me again, no. Make you go do your own.
Many thanks for staying with us. Africa must improve on the quality and quantity of all its products to enable member countries have better demand for its goods and services the world over. This was the position of the Strategic Steering Committee of West Africa Competitiveness Program in Abuja. Adebola Bruslin Sunday has the details.
The competitiveness of most exported goods in global markets, analysts say, depends not only on access to raw material inputs, but also on the efficiency, price utilities, among other factors.
If there are any questions or...
These key players from 15 ECOWAS member states and Mauritania are in Abuja to strategize on how to improve the business environment in the sub-region that will be able to create concrete transactions based on the market's linkages.
To meet a minimum standard requirement in terms of quality. Because there is no way we can market if we don't create the culture of quality excellence in our region.
Technique, un comité d'orientation.
The committee approved 4 value chain for the program.
Mango, cassava, ICT and cotton textile that will help to create jobs, especially for the youth and the women.
The total amount of support that the EU is giving is 120 million for this particular program. So we are also trying to improve the climate for investment.
The need to help West Africa achieve its quest for economic integration into the regional and international trading system is another mandate given the joint implementers. Adebola Bruslin Sunday, NTA News.
Let's talk agricultural revolution now, with the federal government approving field trial of genetically modified cotton and cowpea. The government, however, cautions farmers and marketers against disobeying the country's laws on GMO. Details of this with Musa Baba Aliyu.
Nigerian scientists have successfully developed improved and high-yielding cotton and cowpea seeds that are also pest-resistant. The seeds were developed through genetic modification methods and currently undergoing field trial in specific locations across the country.
We want the technology to be adopted in this country so that it will improve the lives of our people. Because obviously you agree with me that there's no way we can feed adequately, guarantee food security for over 200 million people, depending purely on the hoe and knife type of agriculture.
If certified, the modified seeds will be made available for commercial production. As this is being awaited, the National Biosafety Management Agency raised its red flag, warning that the process must not go against the relevant laws of the country.
The law specifically says if anybody introduces or trades or uses genetically modified seeds or grains or any product without approval from the National Biosafety Management Agency, if prosecuted and found guilty, risk 5 years imprisonment or a fine of 2.5 or both. And such facilities that are used can also be confiscated.
This brought about this meeting with seed merchants and marketers with a view to acquaint them with Nigeria's position on GMO. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
For stories trending in the financial sector, over now to Olainka Ojo.
Plans are underway by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board in partnership with Oil Producers Trade Section to develop oil and gas industry marine vessel standards. The Executive Secretary of the board, Simbi Wabote, who stated this in Abuja, explained that the standards will be applied in marine tenders by all oil and gas operators and will specify uniform technical specifications that must be met in marine vessel that will work in the oil and gas industry. The Nigerian Economic Summit Group says the nation's economy can become globally competitive if it can let go of subsidies and channel money into infrastructure development and investment. A member of the group's board, Udeme Ufot, while noting that a lot of policies supported by the NESG had been implemented, even though it was not at the desired pace, added that NESG will continue to dialogue and ensure the growth of the Nigerian economy. The dollar traded near a 3-week low against the yen. And that's it on this segment of the news.
And on news across the globe, the United Nations has confirmed that this year's climate change talks will take place in Madrid in December after Chile withdrew as host this week because of massive street protests in the South American country. The talks, known as COP25, will be held between December 2nd and 13th, 2019, as originally planned. The conference is aimed at fleshing out details of the implementations of the landmark Paris Agreement Climate Pact amid calls for urgent action from environmental groups and climate protesters. And on sports, new champion emerges in the Africa Golf Tour B&E in Lagos. Kene Imabodike